My name is Army Staff Sergeant Carlos Rivera. In 2003, I was injured in several helicopter incidents in Operation Iraqi Freedom. This resulted in a spinal cord injury with paraplegia, TBI, PTSD, and other medical conditions. Everybody else that I know joined the military because they won the scholarships, but I joined the military because I wanted to be an aviation mechanic. So I first joined the Navy, working at Puerto Rico, Roosevelt Road. I was happy until they told me that I needed to release and go to a boat. I didn't want to be in sea, so I switched to the Army. When I switched to the Army, I ended up in 160 Special Ops, and my first assignment was in a boat for 30 days. In the Navy was great because I was around with what I like, all the aviation. In the Army, I actually got to fly the aircraft. Everybody was a band of brothers because we were together for long periods of times. And when we deployed not only to Iraq, we went to other places and we were together for 30, 40 days, living together. So we learned to live like brothers. So it was kind of cool. I was injured in June 3rd, 2003, where I experienced a hard landing in an MH6 Little Bird. You're flying, there's turbulence, you're shaking. Imagine that times 10 with no cushions because you're next to the rotor blades are going, you're sitting right here, you got the rotor blades on top of you going like this. If you bump too high, you're going to smack it. Well, the first challenge was trying to figure out what was really wrong with me. I didn't know that I had a spinal cord injury. I was in pain. I was having problem walking and I was given a cane. I was given home duty, but I didn't know that I had a spinal cord injury. Then I started having seizures, and that's when somebody decided, like in the emergency room, let's make an MRI and see what's going on. And that's when they figured out that I didn't have a spine anymore. From the T5 all the way to the T12, everything was messed up. And when they figured everything out, I was happy. I'm like, yeah, we're going to get this resolved. When they figured out what was wrong with me, it was when the hard things started. I'm still recovering from this injury that it's been over 20 years. It's been a long haul and it's been crazy. We live in this house that is not working for me since 2008. The house is not handicap accessible. There's a lot of things that I struggle here in my house. The main things that I'm struggling right now is the bathroom and some of the doors, especially the back door where I got my lift to coming in the side of the house. I mean, you can see the struggle in the door every time the wheelchair just smack it. I was cautious with Home from Our Troops because my experience with other organizations saying that they were going to help, and when you fill out the applications, they never did. So I was lower expectation and I was cautious and not getting my hopes up. When one of my best friends got a house from Home for Our Troops, I knew that that was for real, and that's where we are right now with the hopes. The biggest thing that I'm looking forward in the new home is the ability to move around, to have that freedom that everybody else got when you can walk of moving around your house. That's all I'm asking for. I just want to be a normal guy, even though that I'm in a wheelchair. I want to be a normal guy and try to do the normal things that I used to do that I cannot do right now. This accessible house is gonna start helping me rebuild my life, even my marriage life, with more room. My wife will get a little break of doing everything that she's doing for me right now. It's not only meant for me; it's meant for me and my family. That we're gonna have the space, the freedom to move, at least to breathe. Organizations like Home for Our Troops are giving it hopes and giving us the motivation to stay alive. I want to thank any donors or future donors for Home for Our Troops. Thanks to your guys' support. These kind of organizations are the one keeping us alive and giving us hope. That it doesn't matter how hard it looks or how dark it looks in front of us, there's always light at the end of the tunnel.